Well, they say if you marry a beautiful woman, she can be high maintenance. And so the saga of my cherished Raffo Belva restoration continues, having been off the road now for 6 years. But we're getting there slowly. I'm still trying to sort the wiring out, and having been talked out of buying a simple kit car wiring loom, I'm struggling with the complexities of transferring the Fiesta loom and finding all sorts of problems. My mechanical engineer friend Peter was only available on occasional Sundays, and at least he was able to wade through some of the issues logically.
Basically, at the moment we've installed the engine in here complete with the original vehicle's donor harness, ECU and that. The vehicle came with ignition system which incorporates security and an immobiliser. Without the right coded key and that, it won't work. The problem was we had to keep the original steering column and lock. So the quick solution is to do what we're doing here, which is to combine components from both, and hopefully the ECU will now recognise the key from its system and we'll be able to start it off the new column. This might seem a little bit of a hodgepodge at the moment, but the first thing to do is to get the thing up and running and check everything works, and then tidy everything up. Connected everything up that should be connected, and this is the first time we've actually tried to check that any of the electrics are working, fuel pump, starter motor and that. And if you listen now, you'll hear the starter motor kick in. And now...
Wow, that is a fantastic sound, Peter.
We have no fuel in the system at the moment, no cooling system connected up. I'm sure we'll find a few more problems yet, but suddenly it's starting to feel like we're seeing a bit of light at the end of the tunnels. Now, we knew this car ran before because we had it running in its donor vehicle, so there is absolutely no reason why it shouldn't run now, but as in all things, you always like to make sure you've got everything you need. Don't touch it.
Well, Peter discovered some errors I'd made, such as wiring the new fuel pump the wrong way round. Our fuel supply was a little basic.
They have a problem there. Right, so there's 104 pins in there. Not all of which are connected, but the ones that are connected, we need to make sure that we haven't crossed the wire over somewhere. Your coil, if you want to. Right, you've got 1, 2, 3 wires. Okay, this wire, number 2, goes all the way back up here, and somehow we're getting an earth reading off of it. Now I reckon if you trace those wires back, you'll find earth. Thank you.
Peter spent quite some time going through the electrics.
Need some washers to shim that out with.
Meanwhile, on odd days, my old pal Mike was able to help, and one thing we did was fit an isolator switch for the 12-volt supply. We had to lengthen various cables. Now, soldering heavy-duty cable was no mean task, and using the right connectors was paramount to eliminating the electrical problems I suffered before when I bought this car. It all took time, but we got there in the end. Well, we've got a bit of a moment of truth here as we're going to try and fire up the engine. Peter's going to have his hand on the throttle, and after all the problem with OBD codes and pairing up with the phone, let's see if we can get some life. All right, Peter? Yeah. There's the fuel. Wow. Actually got life. That is brilliant. That is a start.
We need a bit of fine tuning there, but later light we don't need that at the moment. Right, at the moment this piece will just slide out. Remove that. Out it comes.
Oh, that's quick. Oh, that's the bit where you're... yeah.
Be relatively careful with this. The pins inside are small.
We experienced some problems with potential air leaks affecting the engine running smoothly. It just seemed to cut out all the time.
Right, more coolant please.
So what we're doing is we're trying to get airlocks out of the...
Well, we're just trying to reverse fill everything at the moment so that we can get coolant moving around. We'll probably be bleeding airlocks out for a while yet.
Joining the project in early 2015 was Joe, a musician who wanted to learn about cars. He connected up a lot of the pipework under my instruction. We replaced all the hoses with good quality pipe from a company called Merlin at the Castle Combe racetrack nearby. Getting airlocks out of the system really was time consuming. In fact, this whole project is really turning out to be a marathon. I left Joe to sort out the lighting electrics and he methodically went through from the book. Now I'm colourblind, so I was useless at this. It was impossible getting any auto electrician locally to come out and sort it out, so we just had to soldier on, but we got it all done, one bit at a time. We applied some self-adhesive insulation to the engine bay. The quietness of this car is going to be a priority for me, and it's a job that needed doing once the pipework had been routed. I also started reworking the front bodywork section so it could easily be taken out to remove the radiator if needs be. The whole point of my radical restoration of the Raffo Belva is to have both a highly functional vehicle and one that can be maintained easily, and that means access to everything. What I'll cover in the next video is the reforming of the body to make way for projector headlights. And pods that I will be custom building out of fiberglass. The headlights are a defining feature of any car, and this will be my personal signature together with the dashboard and interior. So please stay tuned.